Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. Well, I'm here with you today on a Monday morning, the beginning of another week. And as I've said many times before, I hope you had a good weekend, and I hope you're expecting to see God at work this coming week. This week and next, I want to do something a little bit different than what I've been doing. I want to talk about a topic. The topic is the Ten Commandments. They're found in Exodus chapter 20. And we'll go through them one each day and see if we can't make some sense out of them. But the Ten Commandments are not punishments. They're not designed to constrict us in our freedoms and ability to do whatever we want. Yeah, they're designed to guide our behavior, or maybe even stronger than guide, to dictate it. But the behavior that the Ten Commandments talks about is a behavior to honor God and to honor ourselves and other people. You see, God made us to fellowship with Him. And so the Ten Commandments show us some of His character, show us who He is and who He wants us to be. You know, I realize that some people will look at these things and say, well, these are just old fashioned ideas. And perhaps some of them are, or maybe, I don't know. But I think they're also very contemporary and very relevant. And I think if we can hear them, perhaps in the way that they were given, maybe we can better understand them. So let me begin in Exodus chapter 20. And we find these words in the first three verses. Then God gave the people all these instructions. I am the Lord your God, who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other God but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind, or an image of anything in the heavens, or the earth, or the sea. You must not bow down to them and worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, who will not tolerate your affliction for other gods. Well, probably many of us have imagined the Ten Commandments in the way that that old from the 50s movie, The Ten Commandments, showed it, with Moses approaching a burning bush and God with a deep voice burning the laws into the tablets. But we have to remember, when God says, you're not to have any other gods before me, the Hebrews had already done that. And he reminds them in the first verse, I am the Lord who rescued you from Egypt. You know, Israel was in bondage in Egypt for a long, long time. And it took miracle after miracle after miracle from God to soften Pharaoh's heart so he'll let him go. And then if you watch that story carefully in the scriptures, you'll find that they constantly, in just a short period of time, would turn their backs on God, forget what he did. And ultimately, when they get to Mount Sinai, they make a golden calf. And they say, this is the God who actually did it, when that's just a statue. So God's trying to communicate to the people of Israel who really is God. Now, for us today, heck, we don't have to worry about golden calves. Well, maybe we don't. But we do have to think about who is our God. Now, let me relook at some of the words here. It says, you must not have any other God before me. You must not, for I'm a jealous God. And don't make an idol and worship it. Only remember me. In our contemporary world, I think people have lots of gods. I really do. Now, maybe they don't call them that, but they act that way. Now, let me give you a definition of who your God is. Okay? It's a really short, simple test. First part is question number one. Who do you spend most of your time thinking about? Question number two. Who do you spend most of your money buying? Question number three. What do you spend most of your time occupied with? Who do you think about the most? Where do you spend your money? Where do you spend your time? Now, I'm going to suggest that the answer to those three questions really does identify and define who your God is. If your work consumes you, if your desire for things consumes you, it takes up those three things, that's really your God. And so what we see is it really is easy to put someone else, some other thing in front of God. Now, I'm not suggesting that people do it intentionally, but they stray away from what the past has shown them, just like the Hebrews did. And God wants to codify this principle about who really is God to the Hebrews and for us all time. We have to not give our money, our attention, our time mainly to something other than the Lord. Now, I'm not saying money-wise you give 100% of your money away. I'm not suggesting that. But if you're not generous in your giving and in what you've received, then you've missed the point. It's really pretty simple. Everything you have, everything that you have has come from God. There's no other explanation. Oh, I know. We work hard. I've worked hard. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of material possessions. I have a lot of education. I have a lot of this. And I earned it by my work. But God is the source of all that. I can't make my brain work. If I'm an artisan, I can't make my hands work. Only God can do that. And so the very first commandment here is to remind us in our daily lives to remember who God is. So I'll start out these 2 weeks by asking you the question. You can think about it. You can ponder it. Who is your God? Really? Who do you spend most of your time thinking about? What do you do with your time, your actions? What's the priority for your money? Well, you think about it. I'm not going to push you any further than that. Thanks for listening this morning. I look forward to the next 2 weeks. I hope you do too. If you have a prayer concern or a need, let us know. As fast as you tell us, we'll do everything we can to try to help meet your need. Till later, God bless you. I'll talk to you again.